This is What Drives You, powered by M-Drive on IcetimeHockeySW.com.
Hey, Michael here from M-Drive. My dad, a world-class scientist, actually made M-Drive for himself to stay active and continue enjoying life. And yes, M-Drive supports healthy testosterone, but it's so much more. M-Drive is the everyday supplement to fuel your drive with more energy and more strength. Listen, we'd love for you to try M-Drive too. Visit mdriveformen.com and we'll give you 20% off your first purchase. Just type in the code DRIVE at checkout. Refine your prime with M-Drive.
All right, welcome in, hockey fans in the desert Southwest. It's another What Drives You from M-Drive, our great sponsors over at M-Drive. And if you know this kid, if you've been around Scottsdale, you've been around Arizona, you've been in New Jersey, you know David Hymovitch, who is my next guest. And David's 15, am I correct?
Yes, you are.
So tell me a little bit about something exciting that happened about a month or so ago. What happened to you?
I was recently drafted in phase 1 of the USHL draft to Sioux City.
So people don't know about the USHL. It's the top junior league in America, basically. Rivals a lot of the Canadian top junior leagues. But talk a little bit about your development and what got you ready for the USHL. I know it's the first step, and I know you got a little time to develop it, but talk a little bit about the USHL.
I mean, like you said, it's the top league in America. Guys are going there, you know, for college, going pro. So, you know, it's insane to think about that I was just drafted there. But yeah, the development, obviously getting better, trying to prepare myself to play in that league one day. You know, it's just the next step, and, you know, hopefully a good hockey career.
So when you started playing hockey here in the desert Southwest in Arizona, let's step back. Let's talk about that first time you put skates on, and what do you remember about it?
To be honest, when I first put on skates, I didn't really like it that much. I actually quit hockey when I was pretty young, but I just got back on the ice, you know, a couple months later. And I think the first time I actually, you know, played with the puck and put it in net, that's when I really fell in love with the game.
So as you played in all of your 15 years right now, you've had some really good experiences, right? You've had a chance to travel. You've had a chance to play on a team out in New Jersey, come back here, play for the junior Coyotes. Talk just a little bit about that experience. First of all, let's talk about New Jersey. What made you go out there, and how was that experience?
It was a great experience, first off. Thought it'd be cool, you know, get out of Arizona, see what the East Coast is like, have some exposure to some of the teams there, and overall great experience. Kind of a breakout year for me. That was the year I was drafted in the WHL, so yeah, it was great experience, great coaching, and certainly a different atmosphere there.
Different atmosphere, different hockey too, or is hockey still the same here and there?
I think hockey's, I mean, it's a little more competitive every weekend. You're playing more competitive teams every weekend, but overall, you know, hockey's going to be the same wherever you go when you play the best competition. Is
it different putting on winter clothes to go outside in the snow as opposed to putting your flip-flops on and coming out?
Yeah, it's very different. First time I've ever had to, you know, shovel snow in the winter, so.
What was the response to everybody else from out east? First of all, I'm guessing you were the only kid from the desert that was there, but what was the response to a kid from the desert invading their territory, so to speak?
You know, everyone there was very welcoming. Obviously, they didn't really understand not having snow in the winter, so, you know, but yeah, they were very welcoming.
So, a couple of years ago, Scottsdale kid was the #1 draft pick in the NHL draft, in Austin Matthews. How much did he influence you growing up?
Very much. I skated with him once or twice before, and he was just a very down-to-earth guy. You would have never known he would have been the #1 overall pick, that's for sure. So yeah, very good role model.
In addition to Austin Matthews, though, I mean, there's a lot of former NHL players now that you've had a chance to kind of rub elbows with. I know you told me off camera that it's kind of like, you know, you got to stop and think for a minute. They're actually NHLers and retired NHL players, don't you?
Yeah, it's insane to think about. at the rink, you're seeing Shane Doan and Whitney regularly. So it's insane to think about that those guys, had a great career in the NHL, but they're here to help the game in Arizona.
So how have they helped you personally? Have they done anything? Has anybody stood out? I know you talked a little bit about your coach this last year, but
Doan was the coach of the team that was a year older than me, so we'd see him coaching and we practice with the older kids sometimes. So we've done some practices with him, so that's kind of my connection to him. He's coached me a couple times in practice.
All right, let's take a quick break. Let's come back and let's talk specifically about the junior Coyotes in this past season and what you're looking forward to in the upcoming season.
Okay, sounds good.
Pre-game like a pro, post-game like a champion at College Bar and Grill. Located across the street from the iconic A Mountain and Sun Devil Stadium and a quick walk from Wells Fargo Arena, College Bar and Grill is your home for the best local craft beer, delicious creative cocktails, tasty food, and Tempe's best atmosphere for Arizona State athletics. College Bar and Grill. Pre-game like a pro, post-game like a champion. Online at ilovecollege.co.
All right, we're back, hockey fans. David Hymovitch is with me. David, am I getting that name right? I mean, every time I see your name, I want to call it Hymovitch, but it's Hymovitch, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, see, I'm working on it. I'm getting it right here. We broke off the first segment talking a little bit about what it's been like to play here, but talk about last season after coming back from New Jersey and being a Phoenix Junior Coyote. What was it like?
I mean, thing about being a Coyote compared to the East Coast, I mean, this is my hometown, so some pride throwing on the jersey, more pride, and just about representing Arizona wherever we go. So it was awesome.
Talk about where you go, right? I mean, you're here in the desert Southwest, so obviously you travel an awful lot to play games and tournaments. Where have you been, and what are some of the things you remember about last season?
Last season, we definitely did a lot of traveling. We were one of the better teams in the nation, so had to do a lot of traveling to play the other top teams. We went to Omaha, Chicago, Detroit, obviously, for national championships, Colorado for our regionals. So definitely a lot of traveling.
So when you're out traveling like that, are you getting scouts and USHL coaches and things like that coming up and talking to you, or talking to your coaches and going, hey, what's the deal with this kid?
Yes, for sure. Definitely a lot of, they more talked to my coaches last season. This is kind of indirect talking, but yeah, it was crazy having, teams talk about your future. Just, you don't really know what's ahead, but yeah, it was crazy.
You spent your whole life growing up, and the Coyotes have been here the entire time. I've been here since a little before the Coyotes got here, but how much does the Coyotes organization mean to the growth of youth hockey in this area?
I mean, it means a ton. Those are the guys we're looking up to, and it's crazy to think about, being in the organization. There's only so much hockey in Arizona. There's not that much, so having some pros to look up to, that's always nice.
So you got the pro teams, but you also got an NCAA team now that's 4 years old, so I can see the smile on your face. Would being a Sun Devil someday be something in your future? Would you like to do that at some point? I
mean, yes, that'd be awesome. Having a college program, watching those games, the atmosphere in that rink is insane over at Oceanside. Even though they're getting a new rink, it's crazy now that we have a D1 team. That's really awesome.
A team that's seeing some success right now too, so they're building something, aren't they?
Right. They made it to the national tournament this year, so yeah, they have a bright future ahead, I believe.
All right, let's talk a little bit about you specifically and the way you play and your style of game. What do you like to do? What makes you're forward, first of all, right?
Right.
So what makes you?
I like to compete, and I like to score, and I like to win games. That's pretty much
That's
all
a pretty good combination right there. So
yeah.
Would you consider yourself a goal scorer or a playmaker, or do you try to do a little of each?
I try to do a little of each. I mean, I like setting up my teammates as much as I like scoring, but it's always nice to, get the goal.
Right.
So I do a little bit more scoring than playmaking, but I love playmaking. So
what's the correct position for you? We say forward, but where do you like to play? Right wing, left wing, center?
I can play, I kind of switch around mostly between left wing and right wing.
Okay.
I like playing on my offside left wing since I'm a right-hand shot. So that's primarily where I was last season.
Let's talk about, again, last season and the coaches that you had. I know you talked to me about Nick Nemenka, who's a former NHLer, former college player, former USHL, I believe, or Western Canada. But talk a little bit about what Coach Nemenko's meant to you and how he's helped you in your development.
I mean, he means the world to me. Huge in my development last season. You know, just sticking to the systems he had. You know, at the start of the season, you know, it was hard to get used to new systems, but, you know, we stuck with it, stuck with the systems, and obviously I wouldn't be where I am today without him.
So you spent your year or so in New Jersey, right? And you come back here and you're back in school again at Chaparral, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So what was it like coming back? What did the guys ask you what it was like in New Jersey and all that good stuff, or how was that?
Yeah, it was crazy switching back from New Jersey, getting used to the heat again, and obviously they were curious about it, and you know, it's cold.
Right. Well, I grew up in northern Minnesota, so I can vouch for the cold part of it. But tell me a little bit about the whole cycle now. You went through the draft process. I know that was an exciting moment. You've already been to a development camp, right? This not long ago, and now you've got the main camp coming up. What do you expect out of the USHL in Sioux City?
I expect it to be very difficult, maybe a little bit intimidating to see the top guys there, but I'm expecting to blend in. I mean, they drafted me, they believe in me, so that's awesome to think about, that an organization like them believes in me. So I'm expecting to blend in and compete for a spot on the team.
All right, let's take one more quick break. We'll come back and wrap things up. We'll talk about your summer plans and when that camp is and what you're expecting up there in Sioux City, okay?
Okay.
All right, we're back to wrap things up on our What Drives You. So that's going to be the question now, right? M-Drive is our big sponsor for this segment. They like to know what drives you as a hockey player, what drives you as a person. So, David, tell us, what drives you? What makes you you?
My family, obviously, the sacrifices they've made for me, and then in terms of hockey, just wanting to get to the next level, knowing there's another level to get to, and then getting to that level, and then just keep on going, head in hockey.
So the next level for you is the main camp or the USHL, like we've already talked about, being the top level. What are you expecting out of that? When is it? What's your plans, and how are you getting prepared for it?
It's in mid-June, and right now I'm just, training, trying to get the right nutrients in me, and getting on the ice here and there, but mostly just off-ice training.
How important is off-ice training right now to a hockey player that's ready to take that next step into juniors?
I mean, it's huge. Personally, I've struggled a little bit with my off-ice training, not staying in the best shape I can be in, so it's going to be huge for me this summer, trying to, fit in with those guys who are just in, outstanding shape. I mean, they play 62 games or 72 games.
Which is a big step up from your schedule, right?
Right. And they're doing it at the highest level, so.
So what do you know about the USHL? How much have you looked at it, studied it, the other teams in it, things like that?
I know quite a bit. I've been to a couple of USHL games, and obviously being drafted into the league, you want to know a little bit about it before you head into it. And basically all I need to know to get me, motivated for it is it's the top, league in America.
So the next step from there, and we're going to kind of do some hypotheticals as a fly pesters you around. Wouldn't be Arizona without a fly or two, right?
Yeah.
So as you project yourself moving up the ladder, USHL, I'm guessing a college scholarship next. What's your plans?
Right now I don't really have any plans. I'm trying just to see, what route is best for me. If I make my USHL team, that would be great. If I don't make it, I also have the WHL.
Right.
So obviously I'm gonna have to decide at some point between the WHL or USHL. So right now I'm just keeping my options open, trying to see what's best for me.
And for those that don't know, you were drafted in the WHL too, so you had some options with them as well, right?
Right.
Calgary, is that who I saw?
Yes, Calgary.
What's the thing about Canada? Would you like playing in Canada?
I
if
mean,
that were an option?
It's obviously gonna be very hard to choose. You know, we got WHL is a great league, USHL is a great league. Something to talk about with my family for sure.
So 15 years old now, where do you see yourself 10 years down the road? What's the ultimate goal? Where do you want to be?
I mean, obviously playing pro is the ultimate goal. So
I hear you. All right, let's leave the flies out of this and we'll move on. David Hymovitch, I told you I'd get that wrong eventually, right?
It's all good.
David Hymovitch, I appreciate your time. Good luck in the future. Good luck this summer, and keep making Arizona proud, okay?